I don't know why you need a hook, you just need to eat this muffin. Hey, Alex here, and after testing 8 egg substitutes in cake, I found out that flaxseed actually came out near the top, and I wanted to figure out a way to make a proper vegan blueberry muffin, one that rises, one that browns, because I think it's important to learn new things and have the skills to do vegan if you needed it, and I'm sure you agree. But I also wanted something fully dairy-free because I've got a family member who can't do dairy, and it's just nice to have something I can bring to a get-together without making 2 versions or compromising on taste and texture. This is a recipe that I came up with. It's simple, it's vegan, and it works. And I also want to acknowledge that my scooping game and putting batter into muffin liners sucks, but don't let the blueberry tinge papers scare you. They really turned out delicious. Let's get started. Now I'm starting with the streusel topping so it can chill in the fridge. Here's what you need. 25 grams of flour, or about 3 tablespoons, 40 grams brown sugar, 3 tablespoons, a pinch of cinnamon, measure that with your heart, and a pinch of salt, 30 grams of cold coconut oil, or 1 or 2 tablespoons. I'm putting it half in now and half in a little bit until it forms clumps of wet sand. Let that firm up by tossing it in the refrigerator like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now on to the muffins. I'll start by preheating my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. This might seem high, but it's part of a 2-stage baking method. More on that in a little bit. And while that's heating up, take about 1 tablespoon or 8 grams of ground flax seeds and add it to 37 milliliters or 2.5 tablespoons of water. Mix that up with a fork really well and let that sit for 10 minutes to make our egg alternative. All right, in one bowl, combine your dry ingredients. 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 150 grams of granulated sugar, 2.5 teaspoons baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and in another bowl, mix your wet ingredients. Start with 120 grams unsweetened applesauce, then 120 grams of plant milk. I'm using this Bam Nut milk I got on sale at Grocery Outlet, 80 grams of neutral oil, and a teaspoon of my bootleg vanilla extract. And this is important. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice or any vinegar you have on hand. I'll explain that one in a little bit, but let's finish up with the wet ingredients first. It's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to stir this up and make sure it's combined, and this is my flax mixture. So while I'm mixing this together, let me explain the vinegar. I wanted to use Greek yogurt here instead of applesauce, which already brings some acidity, and it did really well in the eggless alternative test. But since I wanted to make this vegan, I swapped in applesauce and added a little acid on the side. That vinegar reacts with the baking soda I added, which can give the muffins more lift. No eggs means we have to lean on science a bit to help us out in that department. Then I'll add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and mix that up gently. Then fold in about 150 to 200 grams of blueberries. Fresh or frozen is fine, and I heard coating them in a bit of flour prevents them from sinking to the bottom, so you can do that. Scoop the batter in your muffin tin, about 3/4 full, or just pop it to the top if you're feeling dangerous. I tend to get carried away, so I'm pretty sure I won't get 12. Now, put them in the oven at 425 degrees for 7 to 8 minutes. That initial blast of heat helps them rise fast. While the muffins are doing their thing, grab your streusel from the fridge. The coconut oil should solidify, so we're going to have to break it up carefully. Just cover the top and hammer away with it with a fork until you get medium-sized chunks. I put it back in the fridge until the 8 minutes are up. Then, carefully open the oven and drop the oven temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Top each muffin with a spoonful of streusel. If you can, make sure your oven is back to 350 degrees if you left the door open too long. I'll bake them for another 12 to 15 minutes. I start off at 12 minutes, and that way I can give them a few extra minutes, which I did. You want them golden and so a toothpick comes out clean. If you want, I brought them up to the top rack and put them on low broil for about 1 or 2 minutes, keeping a close eye on them because I wanted to give the tops a little more color. Let them cool in the tin for 5 to 10 minutes before transferring them to the wire rack, and let that carry-over heat do its job. And that's it, a vegan blueberry muffin that rises, is golden brown, and I've streuseled it up. No eggs, no problem. If you missed my egg substitute test, I'll link to it here so you can see where flax landed and why it works so well in this recipe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.